And welcome into Permort Field at Bernlohr Stadium. Men's soccer action coming your way in this one. It is the final regular season game of the year, and it's also senior night here at Permort Field, where the Comets will be playing host to the Otterbein Cardinals, that team from over in Westerville. The battle for the oars has been renewed, and each of these teams have some hardware to play for now, which will be presented after today's game. There's more than just hardware to play for, as both these teams trying to move up in the standings. For Otterbein, they're 6-0-2 and atop the conference right now, tied with John Carroll, trying to win the regular season title. For Capital at 4-3-1, pretty safe in terms of making the playoffs, the postseason tournament. There is a kind of nightmare scenario out there, which we'll get to. But in all intents and purposes, Capital is in pretty good position to qualify and kind of hold the key to their own success in terms of having a home game in the first round of the LAC tournament. If they can take care of business here today, certainly would help that cause, as they're currently tied for fourth entering the night. They're in their home whites, Otterbein in the red uniforms, and a lot of seniors in there for senior night. Our full starting lineup coming your way right now.
Once again, welcome, ladies and gentlemen, to the night match between the Otterbein Cardinals and your Capital Comets. Now let us meet the starting lineups. First for the visitors. Number 3, Liam Hurd. Number 4, Mark Wishmeyer. Number 7, Gabe Sharrock. Number 8, Kobe Stover. Number 9, Carter Eli. Number 10, Will Isaac. Number 12, Joshua Conroy. Number 16, Teddy Oliver. Number 19, Nathan Neal. Number 20, Drew Holman. And in goal, number 1, Andrew McElroy. And now let's meet the starting lineup for your Capital Comets. At defender, a senior from Toledo, number 4, Majd Awad. At midfield, a senior from Alida, number 6, Jacob Taylor. At midfield, a junior from Toledo, number 7, Mujahid Abdelghani. At forward, a senior from Wilmington, number 9, Sam Spurk. At midfield, a senior from Sunbury, number 13, Chase Geddes. At forward, a senior from Reynoldsburg, number 20, Nehemiah Tanga. At midfield, a sophomore from Toledo, number 23, Jarrett Puckett. At defender, a senior from Cincinnati, number 25, Bailey Locke. At defender, a freshman from Cross Lanes, West Virginia, number 28, Colton Doherty. At defense, a senior from Cincinnati, number 30, Matt Shepard. And in goal, a freshman from Lima, number 00, Landon Hain. Capital is led by head coach Alan Yost. He is assisted by Billy Thompson, Giovanni Salinas, and R.G. Pori. And now, ladies and gentlemen, if you are able, we ask you to rise, remove your caps for the playing of our national anthem.
Senior night here at Permort Field at Bernlohr Stadium on the campus of Capital University. Jimmy Bloomfield here with you tonight as we say goodnight to the regular season with the final game here against those Cardinals from Westerville. Otterbein coming in tied for first place in the OAC. Certainly a formidable opponent, and they have quite the combination of offense and defense. The man to watch out for, number 10, Will Isaac. He leads the OAC with 10 goals scored this season. Isaac, again, is number 10, matching his jersey number. And in net, another good player for them is Andrew McAvoy. This guy is a big target. He's very tall and uses that large frame to keep the goal safe on his end of the field. Joining them on the field is Hurd, Wishmeyer, Sherrick, Stover, Eli Conroy, Oliver Neal, and Holman, rounding out the starting 11. On the other side for Capital, it's a bit of a different lineup between injuries and seniors. You got kind of a weird mix in there. So in net first is Landon Hain. He's the freshman out of Lima. And then joining him is a bunch of seniors. Bailey Locke, Nehemiah Tonga, Chase Geddes, Sam Spurk, Jake Taylor, Majawad, and the return of the starting lineup for Mujahid Abdelghani. So that's really exciting to see. He did play his first game against Wilmington on Wednesday. And then also in the starting 11 is Puckett, Doherty, and Shepard, kind of that main line of defense for Capital this season. So Locke is playing up because you've got Majawad playing on the outside in his normal position. So Locke playing up in the midfield to try to give some offense to his team here. Abdelghani in the midfield as well with Geddes. And Taylor helping out as well. Sam Spurk up at front with Tonga as well. And more of a 4 midfielder, 2 striker look from this original group from Capital. A little bit of a different formation than we're typically seeing. And again, going back to the Wilmington game, Capital played without a lot of key players in that game. Obviously, Mitch Hughes with his injury on crutches, he's out right now. And then for the others that we were missing in action, Jack Kasuji, we saw him go down with a little bit of an injury here at Bernlohr. He was out, not in the starting lineup today. We may see him in this one, we may not. Jack Francisco, I believe I see him down there in street clothes. He also did not play on Wednesday. So that's a lot of the main goal scorers right there for Capital. Kasuji and Francisco have combined to score 11 of the 32 goals this season. Varan Fange also did not play in the Wilmington game. He's been a key substitute for them. Actually, he did. I'm sorry. He only played 15 minutes in that game, but he didn't play big minutes at all. And Nehemiah Tenga actually played 75 minutes in that Wilmington game. So he's got a lot of run. Alex Moore played 65 minutes. He got a lot of run as well. And just some different faces in this rotation for Capitals. They're trying to find some answers with key players out of the lineup. So we'll see what this alignment brings with essentially 4 midfielders and 4 defenders with 2 strikers. Foul called against Capital here, so that's going to turn the ball over to Otterbein. A 1-0 win for Wilmington on Wednesday, which has shaken up the standings a little bit, put Capital back in 4th place now, and there is a scenario in which they don't make the playoffs, and it would be a tie between 5th, 6th, and 7th place between Capital, Ohio Northern, and Mount Union. Marietta can also join those teams with a tie, but Marietta should win, would move across the standings into 4th then, assuming Ohio Northern, Capital, and then a Mount Union win would put all those teams at 13 points. So there is a scenario. It's unlikely, but we are cautious of that. We'll keep an eye on the schedule here and keep the stats for the keeping tabs on the standings for the playoffs, of course, in line. And Capital can take care of business here, of course, with a tie or a win. They are in. And could get a home game as well with the win tonight. So a lot to play for. For Otterbein, they're trying to clinch a share of the title in the OAC. And Will Isaac, their leading scorer. is out there leading the way, number 10. Joining him as well is another big goal scorer for them, Gabe Sherrick. He has 6 goals and 5 assists this season. Conroy as well in the starting lineup with 5. So keep an eye on both of those players as well. Sherrick number 7, Conroy number 12. Some of the key scorers. In net for Capital again is Hain. We'll talk about him in a second here. Otterbein stops the run from Capital. Controlled momentarily by Sherrick. Played back now. And a bomb downfield trying to find an Otterbein body. It's going to go out of bounds. And a throw in for Capital. Deep in their own territory here. Hain this season in net. This is his 4th start, second on the team in with his 4th start. He's second in minutes, 348 plus. He has a 2.07 goals against average, 18 saves made, a 1-2 record with a 69% save percentage. I believe Hain got the start against Wilmington. Let me confirm that. As a set piece coming here on the other side. Hain did play 90 minutes in the Wilmington game, played the full game, and made 5 saves, allowing the 1 goal, which turned out to be the difference. Here's a deep throw-in, kind of a pseudo set piece, headed by Sherrick. It comes back out, a block shot now. Excellent defense from Capital. Holding their ground. I believe that was Geddes who blocked the shot. Sent back in again. Sherrick's offsides. Five minutes into this one. Not a whole lot of action yet. No shots on either side. Officially, I guess that would be a shot that was blocked right there by Geddes. See if he gets credit for one or not. Otterbein is the top scoring team in the conference. And that is including only conference games. Spurk crosses it in. It's kicked out of bounds. 22 goals for Otterbein in their 8 conference games. Capital, for comparison, is 13. They rank 5th. Otterbein's also only allowed 9 goals in those 8 conference games, which ranks 3rd in the conference. Capital ranks 6th at a 1.22 GAA. Total shots, Otterbein ranking 3rd with 148. Capital ranks just 7th with 97. Here's Sherrick bringing it in, and an easy save for Hain, if it'll even count as one, as Hain just bends down and picks that one up. 38-33 to play, first half action. And Hain's punt goes straight up into the air towards the sideline now, and Hain's upset with himself as he miskicked it out of bounds for about 20 to 30 yards of distance on that before it curled to the Capital bench and went out of bounds. Otterbein has definitely sustained more pressure here in the early going, but it is obviously very early here in the 8th minute. Kicked out of bounds by Midge. Good to see Abdelghani out there. He played 19 minutes against Wilmington. He does have a brace on his left knee, you can see. And we'll see how long he gets to run in this one. It is his senior day, so maybe he gets a little bit of extra minutes than you'd expect. And Capital sure wants him out there, obviously. He was a huge player for them. And want him healthy, of course. And potentially some meaningful games for this Capital team next week as well. So you don't want to burn him out too much if you could use him next week. In a week where if you go the distance, you're going to play 3 games in 5 or 6 days. So we'll see how long Abdelghani gets to run out there today. But either way, great that he could get out there on senior day. Pass is stolen here by Locke. Locke plays it back now to Majawad. And Cap goes up the near sideline. Good ball to get that upfield. Taylor to Spurk. And now Spurk crosses. Did not hit the Otterbein defender. And as such will be a goal kick. little bit of offense of showing there from Capital, but nothing comes from the play. Oh, now missed kick by Otterbein. Goes right to Abdelghani. Abdelghani trying to feed Tanga. Went too far with it. And now a rocket sent downfield. Sherrick trying to find it, and Puckett kicks it about 60 yards the other way. Abdelghani is down. He's adjusting his brace. Hopefully he's okay. And he's taking the brace off now, and he's running to the sideline, so that's a good sign. And maybe just has to fix the brace and is taking too much time, so he gets off the field. And Capital will make the sub by putting in Colin McComb, who had to throw his jersey on apparently. And that's the reason for the delay. So McComb will be playing up. So officially it is a diamond kind of midfield. You've got in the middle of the midfield Geddes and Taylor. Taylor on the right, Geddes on the left. Shepard's playing a defensive midfield role, which he's played here over his time. With 75 games played, he's played pretty much everywhere. And then McComb is playing as an attacking midfielder with two strikers up top, Tanga and Spurk, left and right respectively. And then across the back line, you have Puckett on the outside left, Awad on the outside right, Locke playing defensive mid, and Doherty playing on the other side. I said defensive mid, sorry, center back, and Doherty being the other center back. So Locke not playing up at all, actually. He's playing in the middle of the defense. We've seen him play up quite a bit, obviously. He brings some goal-scoring talent to that top line. It's starting to rain here, apparently, at at Bernlord. Did not see that in the forecast, but it's already kind of bad weather here in the mid-50s, low 50s as we move into the nighttime hours here. But now some rain coming down. Big kick from Hain. He got every bit of that one, and obviously was a little bit upset with himself for missing that kick earlier. The shot department so far, stats have just updated for me. There's been one shot. It was by Otterbein. It was blocked by Geddes. Otterbein's also been offsides twice, and that's about all the action in terms of statistical numbers in this one. As we move into the 11th minute, Spurk goes outside, a little give and go with the midfield. Helping out is Taylor. Geddes trying to get involved in the offense. And now a little counter. And kicked out of bounds. Sherrick has been involved quite a bit on the other side. Number 7, he's a big target out there, and he's done a nice job in terms of tracking down these long balls kicked down the field. Hasn't converted anything off of them yet. Otterbein on the counter. Awad stops it, but it goes out of bounds. So throw-in coming for the Cardinals. Thrown in by Otterbein. That's Liam Hurd who tosses it in down the near sideline. And sent right back away by Capital. Otterbein kicks it out. That's Hurd, the captain, on the outside back. Now another throw in for Capital. They continue to just kind of move it down the field here. Another ball kicked out of bounds by Capital for the throw-in now. On the near sideline, going to be the Cardinals again. Both teams kind of just feeling each other out still here in the first quarter of the first half. 13 minutes in. Almost at the first third of the half down. Sherrick a little bit slow to get up after that 50-50 ball. He's walking it off now on the left side. Something hurting either his hip or his knee. Appears to be okay now. Throw in from Hurd deep in his own territory. Tosses it a header. That's won by the Cardinals. And now McComb trying to keep it in play. They do. Spurk slows it down. Tanga trying to get to it. Spurk has it again in the box. And now it's taken away the other way. Awad steps up. Awad makes the stop. Trying to feed McComb. Bounces away from him. They send it up high to Sherrick. He has nobody with him. Just as I say that, oh, that's a big collision there. Foul called as Drew Holman went airborne there, and that could have been a lot worse than it turned out to be. Fortunately, no one hurt in that exchange, we'll call it. So Isaac, the 10-goal scorer, stutters before kicking it, and now puts it towards the net. Good curl on it, bounces in. Hain able to get there first. So Hain will allow the Cardinals to get downfield. The rain has already started to lighten up. It's kind of more of a mist now, if you will. Devin Hess getting ready to come in for the Comets. He's been a huge mid-season kind of outbreak player for them. Breakout player, probably the better way to say that. And Hess checks in for Tanga. Thrown in by Awad. Spurk to Hess. And cleared away. Over the head of Shepard. Sherrick has it again. Sherrick bounces it back. And once again, Holman tries to get upfield. Shepard takes that away. Locke up the far sideline. That's actually Awad who kicked that ball. McComb comes away with it. Settles it. Gets it to Spurk. Spurk has to get it back. Taylor looking for help. Hounding defense from the Cardinals. It has to go all the way back to Awad, who now sends it back upfield. Headed back down. Now McComb has it, and he puts too much on that one. It'll be collected by the goalkeeper, Andrew McEvoy. The rain starting to pick up again. On the far sideline, you can see in the lights the rain starting to really come down here. Once again, some umbrellas coming out from the crowd. 28-18 to play. Taylor looks upfield, and his pass did not get through there. And Otterbein trying to work through this middle third. Capitals definitely amped up the intensity here on the defensive side in the middle third and keeping all the action kind of in this area, more so on Otterbein's side of the field than their own. Otterbein trying to get something going. That ball from Holman just too far out in front of the right striker there for the Comets. Be a throw in now on the other side. Otterbein wins another ball in possession on the throw-in on the near sideline. Capital gets the steal on the near sideline. Throw-in coming. Team's starting to exchange some talk down there on the field. You can pick up a little bit of it from up here. Hurd was not happy with how the ball was handed to him on the sideline. Kind of stopped the play, I guess. I don't think there was anything malicious about it. Wishmeyer comes away with a steal and then sends it too far out of bounds. Goal kick. OAC schedule. Heidelberg already beat Muskingum in double overtime, 1-0. Kind of a pride game there because neither team qualifies for postseason play, but a final win of the season for Heidelberg to go out on a high note at least. And I kind of spoiled the senior day, I guess, for Muskingum. 7:30 start, so a little bit of a later start between Wilmington and John Carroll. That's kind of the marquee game of the night if it's not this one, as those are two top 4 teams in the conference as well. Marietta against Baldwin Wallace. If Capital loses, Marietta can get in front of Capital with a win. So that one does have big implications. And then Mount Union and Ohio Northern, if Mount Union wins that game, they'll pull even with ONU. And if Capital doesn't get any points tonight, they'll pull even with them as well, turn into a 3-way tie for 5th, 6th, and 7th. And we have no idea who's going to win that tiebreaker yet. So yeah, will depend on the final standings in the OAC. And Cap can take advantage of all of this and just get some points here tonight and win the game. Somehow that ball thrown into the box, bounced around between 3 or 4 people. No one got a shot off there, and it's kicked out of bounds. There'll be a kick here for, or throw in here for Otterbein on their own end of the field. Thrown to Sherrick. Up into the air. Shepard wins it for Cap. Back out to Taylor. Kicked out by Otterbein. The intensity starting to pick up here as we move into the second half of this first half of play. 24 minutes to go until halftime break. And as I said, the intensity is starting to pick up between these two teams now. You can really start to feel it. Puckett playing up from the outside back. Shepard looking for help and goes out wide to Awad. Awad looks upfield, sends the ball into the box, and it's down. A chance for Cap as McAvoy was out of the net, but unable to control it cleanly with time was Hess, so he has to play it back, and it's sent away by Taylor into the corner. Obviously not where he intended that ball to go. Caps had a few chances, and they're going to be small little windows like that. This is a very defensively sound team. Otterbein has been in the NCAA tournament in recent years, and a very talented group here. They've hosted a regional in the past few years. I believe it was back in 2018. Some of those players still around from that team. Into the box. Cap has some players with NCAA tournament experience as well. A lot of younger players out there, too. It's a combination of young and old, especially with this Capital team. And some of those younger players are out. Kasuji, Francisco, etc. And now you're looking for your seniors to really come up and play big minutes. They're asking for Hess to do that as well, but Tanga's getting increased playing time. Bailey Locke's been playing all kinds of positions trying to help out. Gaddis is playing up. They're trying to get every minute they can out of Maj, out of Mooch and Maj. And Jake Taylor's been a rock with Gaddis in that midfield as well through this stretch, especially after the injury to Hughes, who would be sorely missed right now with all that experience he has. foul called against Otterbein. Capital getting ready to make another substitution. That's Ryan Caruso, who's been playing quite a bit here over the past few weeks as well. And they play it short here off the free kick. Awad sends a ball into the box. Too much on it over the head of Hess. And now Otterbein goes the other way. Cardinals across midfield with it. They have about 4-on-5 in terms of numbers, so nothing really they can do here. A lot of dribbling, and then Capital gets taken down. A foul called against the Cardinals again. There's obviously fans from both sides of the rivalry here in this one. You wouldn't expect much different. About a 15 to 20-minute drive between the two campuses, depending on traffic, of course. And a good turnout from both fan bases here, both Otterbein and Capital. Crowd kind of has entered more of a lull here in the middle stages. 20 minutes and 34 seconds until half. I'm not sure who that is, actually. There's a group behind the Otterbein bench, and I'm not sure if it's kind of like a pseudo-student section or what that is. 2018 now, and we cross midfield again. Just the Cardinals. That's a good run from Stover, and they called him offsides. It was late, but I believe that was the right call. Stover making a late run there, trying to get across that back line of the defense, and had a lot of space, but got there illegally. Haynes sends it back into play after the offside. Headered. Oh, it's a collision between Awad and Isaac. And they're going to play the advantage on. So there was a foul. This one not a foul. Puckett gets the clean tackle. Now Otterbein fighting for it. They get the ball back. There's going to be another whistle here shortly. I can see it coming. Both these teams, again, starting to amp up. And if they haven't already started, I should say continuing to amp up. Wad now has Caruso in front. He just checked in. Taylor over to Caruso, who kicks it out of bounds, trying to find Taylor on the give and go. Caruso playing up as a striker, as well as McComb, and Hess is playing kind of the top of that diamond in the midfield. Obviously, you hate a tie, but that's all Capital needs to make the postseason. So that does play into the style, I think, here for Capital. You want to go out there and win the game, of course, but if you start looking up at that scoreboard with 10 minutes left and it's a tie game, it kind of changes your strategy, I think. You hate playing for a tie, but again, it makes sense in some situations. Hesse comes in. Plenty of time left before we have to have that conversation about whether or not we push for the tie or not. Upfield, Otterbein Isaac had it, spun, but Awad knocked him down. Now a pass to the near sideline. Capital wins possession again with a throw-in. There's been a lot of throw-ins in this game. Isaac on the throw-in for Otterbein there, the first to get the touch on it. That's a hold and a tug of the jersey there by Hesse. It's only been 5 fouls. It feels like it's been a lot more than that. Isaac probably takes this free kick, I would imagine. He took the last one from this range. He's in position again here. Isaac, once again, the leading goal scorer in the OAC. One of the Otterbein players is standing off sides and didn't come into the play there at all. Now a diving header. Otterbein wants a call. They're not going to get one. A shin guard goes flying. Isaac goes down. Isaac grabs his ankle, gets the call, and Isaac is down, grabbing his left shin. I'm wondering if he's the one that lost his shin guard. Someone, after a kick there, the shin guard went flying into the air. And Isaac is limping right now. It was him that lost the shin guard because he just put it back in his leg, so I'm wondering if he got kicked now where that shin guard would have been protecting him. Where are they going to place this ball here? It's going to be a throw-in, so they don't even call a foul. Wow. I thought for sure they got the whistle there for the foul, but it was just for an out of bounds. Now a ball centered in, and Sherrick on the header puts it home. A defensive lapse there for Capital. Sherrick was the free man. And Gabe Sherrick is not a good person to leave open from that kind of range. He lets it go, shoots an arrow towards the bench, and picks up his teammate Isaac, who's a little bit slow still with the injury. Sherrick says, next man up, that's me. And Gabe Sherrick puts Otterbein out in front, 1-0. Seventh goal of this season for Sherrick. Isaac still moving a little bit gingerly, and obviously he's worth keeping an eye on, the #1 scorer in the OAC, so an injury to him would be catastrophic. But he appears to be okay now, moving pretty good in his spot out there. So the goal from Sherrick, a healthy Isaac, and a decent last few minutes there from Otterbein, to put it lightly, as they take the lead now, 1-0. And with a 1-0 lead, that turns the attention to the scoreboard between Ohio Northern and Mount Union, as the Purple Raiders, trying to get into that top 6, need a win at ONU. And pulling up their live stats now, they are still tied 0-0 in the 27th minute. So if the results hold, Capital is still fine in terms of making the postseason. But obviously we're very interested in what's going on over in Alliance. It's actually in the 33rd minute now. Just got to refresh. Still tied 0-0. Awad trying to find a attacker, and nothing much doing there. McAvoy will pick it up. McAvoy gets ready to send it upfield now. He does, and now Capital steals it on the near side. Caruso trying to win a foot race. McAvoy gets there first. Capital still hasn't registered a shot in this game. Believe we're up to 5 for Otterbein now. That ball kicked out of bounds towards Isaac out in front of the Capital bench. 13 minutes to play, first half action. It is still a 1-0 lead for the Cardinals. Capital trying to get a quick response here before half. No Francisco, no Kasuji, no Hughes. And now Delgani went down early as well. Looked like he was okay, but still potentially something to monitor as well. And there's not a lot of time left for Capital to get healthy, and they got to make the tournament first. Sherrick will come out, replaced by Paul Hensley, and Sherrick gets a nice ovation from the crowd as he's the lone goal scorer in this one so far. Up the left side, Cap on the attack. A shot! That's too high over the head of McElvoy and the net. Not a bad ball at all. Released by the sub Ryan Caruso. Under 12 minutes to play now, first half. And Cap gets their first threat at a goal. Sent upfield on an angle by McElvoy. Puckett kicks it out of bounds. Throw in for Otterbein. Cardinals have a couple more players getting ready to come in, maybe a third behind them. Capital might be going back to Tanga here. Actually, I'm sorry, that's Fonge who's getting ready to check in for Capital. Otterbein with the steal. And they don't do anything with it, fortunately. Now Cap has it already across midfield. Hurt sends it back. And controlled by Otterbein, now kicked out of, no, kicked inbounds as Isaac keeps it in play. Now Isaac looking for help, sets up a corner for the Cardinals. ONU has scored to take the lead over Mount Union. That's great news for Capital. And still a game in front of us here to take care of for the Comets. They go short on the corner kick. It's a play. Isaac takes the shot. It's blocked by a Awad. Throw incoming. So they did that just to set up Isaac with an off-center kind of set-piece kick, basically. And Awad read that play and is able to get the block on it. Now a throw-in. Back to Isaac again. Across, no one's there. Excellent ball. Sent across there by Carter Eli. And couldn't find a body to tip it in. Chase Geddes will come off. Veron Fonge replaces him. Fonge, a freshman who has been a big scorer for Capital earlier in the season. Hasn't done much in the OAC, however. And looking to find some of that early season form again is Fonge. He wins possession here for Capital with help of Locke. And Awad sends it away from his own net. Caruso controls. Trying to get it to Hess. Unable to. And now here come the Cardinals. Isaac. Couple of bounces into the box. Kicked away from the defender Locke. And scooped up by Hain, who's in the right position. Now under 9 minutes until half. Shepard plays it outside. Awad calls for help. Gets it to Hesse in the midfield. Taken away from him. Hurd playing up for Otterbein. Gets up the left side. Goes outside to Isaac, who stumbled. And with the misplay, goes out of bounds. Break for Capital there. 8.5 minutes until the break. Taylor. Kicked out by Otterbein. Taylor on the throw-in again. And he'll leave it behind for Awad. Cap looking to find something here in the last 8:18 until halftime. Thrown in. Up the near side, Awad. Kicks it in front of the net. That ball bounces, and McElvoy is able to make the save. Kicked up field on the punt from McElvoy as we continue play. Series of headers back and forth. Now it's on the turf, and now Isaac has it. And Isaac turns up field, pitches it in a net. The header goes wide from Eli. Putting the pressure on, to say the least, are the Cardinals. They're flying out there. No pun intended. Couple of subs checking in on the other side. It is Hayden Vu and Dominique Tronica. Passes back and forth between the keeper and the outer back for Cap, and now it's played upfield. That's actually Doherty playing kind of towards the outside, but as a center back. Oh, nice move between the legs. Eli is able to get into the box and sends it a mile over the net. A good initial run, but nothing to come from it. Sent upfield on the free kick for Cap off the goal kick. Headed on and then booted away. And they're going to get another throw in here. Under 6 minutes to play. And the Cardinals trying to steal one more before half at this point. Tord Hekestad coming in. And he'll replace Eli, who almost had a goal moments ago. Throw in for the Cardinals on the far sideline. Cap trying to get a counter now as they are awarded a throw in. The Cardinals get a takeaway up the far end of the field. Into the box. Across. Oh, miskicked on the back end. Yikes, that probably should have been a goal. A wad with a collision. He's a little bit slow to get up, but he's okay. Helped to his feet by the defense, helping out is Taylor. Now Taylor gets back across into the middle, slide towards the goal, and Hain comes away with it. A wad now still hurt. He gets back up. Taylor literally lifted a wad up into try to help him into the play. Then Taylor took his spot in the field and got back. And meanwhile, Haynes stepped up and made a big save. Capital looks like they're just trying to get into the locker room at this point. Under 4 minutes to play. They're down 1-0, but Otterbein is hungry for more and pushing hard for it. Throw in for, I think I call a foul. Foul on the far sideline. The Cardinals have another set piece coming now. .315 and counting here, so the Cardinals running low, but still have plenty of time to play out a full sequence here. Could get a free kick from a corner kick position or a foul and have plenty of time to set up. It's chipped into the box. It's headed away. It's headed pushed back in with the right leg of Holman. Still loose. Fonge helping out. He gets it out. And now Cap looked like they were going to be coming away with it. Hesse called for the foul. Another set piece coming for the Cardinals. Paul Hensley draws the foul. And now another free kick. And again, plenty of time for the attack here. Sent in. Right back out by Shepard. Up the far end of the field, Puckett cleared it for the moment. Puckett with a header now again to try to help it out. Hess is flying. He's got it. And now he's hit from behind, turned to the official for the call and got it. So a free kick now for Capital. Puckett will take the free kick here. And Cap trying to get some bodies downfield. Puckett with a lot of air under it. McElvoy catches it out of the air, takes the opportunity away from Hess and Capital. And now McElvoy fakes the throw right, or fakes the throw left, dropped it right. And with 1 minute to play, Otterbein kicks it out of bounds at midfield. Puckett calls for a new ball. It's half time in 56 seconds. Can Capital find a way to generate a shot opportunity here? They're being outshot 7-1 right now. And Comet hits the turf. That's Puckett. And he's slow to get up with 30 seconds left. Fonge runs past the track to find a ball. They're going to stop the clock with 23.8 seconds left. And another key injury here if Puckett's unable to go on. Such an essential part of this team. Puckett is still limping. And I think he's going to make his way off the field the long way. Alex Moore will come into the game for Cap. Puckett is out. And he's just going off on the far end of the field to save his legs a little bit. There's some benches over there from the football game earlier. And he takes a seat. Play resumes, 20 seconds until half. Ball's into the box. Shepard gets the first header on it, and there won't be a second one as it goes out of bounds wide of the goal. And with 12 seconds left, I doubt we see McElvoy send this one back into play.
7, 6, 5.
We won't. 1-0 lead for Otterbein on the goal. Back in minute number, sorry about that, the 30th minute. It was Gabe Sherrick with the difference so far. 15-minute halftime break. We'll be back in about 14 or so. Half number 2 coming up in just a bit from Bernlohr. Stay with us. 45 minutes on the clock for the finale of the regular season. The good news, Ohio Northern is leading Mount Union, which will help Capital secure a playoff spot. The bad news is Otterbein has dominated this game. They lead 1-0. They outshot the Comets 7-1 in the first half of play, and Capital also had an injury to one of their key players, Jarrett Puckett, who is starting the second half out there on the field, which is at least a bit of good news. An already beat up Capital team on Senior Day, trying to pull off a win here and secure a home game in the OAC tournament, but at the worst case, a tie would at least guarantee them a spot. If the results hold, they would still get into the postseason, but they would be a 6 seed, I believe, if Marietta were to beat Baldwin-Wallace, with how things currently shake in the standings. And that's two things. One, shows you how deep this conference is, and two, kind of a disappointment for a Capital team that looked like they were going to potentially compete for a title, and then injuries came, and losing some tight matches down the stretch, and trying to turn that narrative around today. Abdul Ghani's back in there, by the way, for Capital to start the half as well, which is a good sign. Kind of laboring on that left knee. He's got a brace reinserted onto his leg. Puckett and Geddes work it up the near sideline. Back to Geddes. Geddes stolen away from him. This is the goal scorer on the other side, Gabe Sherrick. Sherrick now lost it, and Cap goes the other way. Sherrick had just the one shot. It was good for goal. Isaac had 3, and Carter Eli had 2. Eli also picked up the assist on the goal for Sherrick. Sent upfield out of bounds here by Otterbein, and they can play a little bit of a keep away kind of offense here if they really wanted to. With a 1-goal lead and kind of controlling the pace of play at this point, slowing down this first half, from the first half into the start of the second half. They've slowed the pace down. There was a lot of physical play between these two teams as that half went on. Throw-in coming for Capital on the near sideline with Puckett. Puckett now has a chance to send it in off his foot, and he does, but not on the same page with anyone. Ball's headed back towards the keeper, and that'll be McAvoy to run under that one. Once again, sent upfield. Headed nicely onward, and now it's in the box. Sherrick has it again. Plays it back out. Eli shot through the uprights, but over the net and onto Mount Street. So Otterbein gets the first shot of the second half as well. Sherrick wins the ball for Otterbein again on the attack. And a takedown here. Puckett gets the call this time. And it'll be a kick now going the other way for Capital. Trying to find some life in this offense here. It's been more the same in the first 5 minutes of the second half. Puckett will put a giant leg into this one. He probably can get it to the box if he wanted to. He does, just shy of the box. It lofts in the air with the side spin on it. And checking behind him, Shepard drops it to Puckett, trying to feed Mooch. Doesn't get through. And now Otterbein on the attack. Doherty keeps it away from Sherrick this time. And a foul called against Geddes, who's trying to not land on top of the Otterbein midfielder Mark Wishmeyer. He did not do so, fortunately, did not land on him. Everybody's okay, just kind of a hard play, more physical contact between these two teams. Free kick coming, and they play it short. That was Nathan Neal who plays it in short, and then a miss kick here from Teddy Oliver. And Hain goes out and gets it. He's still in net for the Comets. Taking a look at Hain's stats, he does have a save in the first half. McAvoy does not, given just the one shot again the other way. 8 shots now for Otterbein, and only 2 have been on, or only 1 is, nope, that's right, I had it right the first time. Only 2 have been on goal. The goal that was scored, and then the save that was made. So a 50% save percentage, a little rough, obviously, for Hain, but a 45-minute sample there. Not much you can do with what he's been. You can only stop the shots that are in front of you, put it that way. And that's kind of the story for both of the goalies in this one. Expected kind of a lower scoring, grinded out type of game. That is exactly what we're getting. And Otterbein has been the more fit, more physical team to this point, and they've come away with a goal. Puckett trying to send it along, almost a handball, but played on nicely by Eli. Now outside with it. That's Isaac. And headed away from him, but Awad still has to finish the clear and sends it off of the opposing Isaac. And a throw-in coming. Awad throws it in. Sherrick gets the throw in up the far sideline from Liam Hurd. Goes out of play. Hurd now barking out instructions and will leave the ball for Eli to throw in. He's got a strong arm. We saw it in the first half. He can get it there. He did kind of set up that goal for Sherrick. Here's the throw. And headed by Sherrick. Headed a second time by Sherrick, and a foul called on Sherrick. Throw-in coming, or goal kick coming. As a result of the foul, it'll be about 10 yards in front of the normal goal kick spot. And the goalie Hain puts a strong foot into it across the 35, headed away. A wad. Nice job to create some space for himself from Sherrick. And uses the help of Bailey Locke now to get it upfield. Backheel pass from Shepard did not work. Sherrick has it for Otterbein. Cap trying to get a steal on the far end. They do. Some jersey pulling both ways up there. Nothing called. And both teams trying to navigate through some pretty tight spaces right now. Sherrick. Oh, he goes down. No whistle called. Again, the contact is both ways right now, so it's tough to decide which way to call it, I guess. I think that was one that Cap probably could have been called for. There's been a lot of griping from the Otterbein section here today, and I think that was maybe a legitimate one. Cap has slowed it down to play the control style now. Shepard finds a Wad at the far side of the field. A Wad trying to find Locke on a run. Locke is off and running, and he's able to get a ball over. Abdel Ghani sends it out wide. There's a takedown in the box. No foul. Puckett keeping the play alive. Taylor went down in the box, and I feel like maybe a legitimate whistle on this side now not being called. Tough break. Into the box on the throw-in. Cap looking for the equal. And they're not going to have a chance at this run. Puckett's going to have to play it back. A Wad sends it back in. It bounces. Spurk is in the area over the head of Abdel Ghani in the midfield. Cap gets it back. This is Locke. Abdel Ghani on the follow-up, but Otterbein's able to get it out. Not for long. Geddes and Abdel Ghani get another kick on it. And Wishmeyer has it on the other side. Wishmeyer across midfield. Gets it to Isaac, and a Wad has to kick it out. Good push there, but nothing to show for it yet. 34 minutes to play. Still a 1-0 lead. Up the far end of the field. Cap trying to keep the pressure away from their net and continue the momentum here. That's a shove. Yep, that's called. The Otterbein player shoved the defender, Awad, who was standing under the ball ready to play it. Can't do that. And the whistle goes the other way. Colin McComb getting ready to check back in for Capital as the round of subs will continue here for Cap, trying to find that right formation. Free kick here from the 45 on his own side of the field. The ball trying to run it to the goal scorer, Sherrick, and Sherrick does not win the foot race. Hain takes it away from him. Rain is really starting to come down now here. It's been off and on kind of all day. And it stopped before this game and then seemingly came out of nowhere. It looked like it all kind of worked its way through the area. And a little pop-up shower here has just kind of lingered over Bernlohr. Abdel Ghani will come off for McComb. Kind of shaking his head as he makes his way to the sideline and discussing that shift there with Coach. .31-18 to play. up the far end of the field. It's out of bounds off of Capital. Still not a lot generated here from this attack. Keeping an eye on the ONU result. They're leading 1-0 still. The 36-minute goal by Seth Gunleck still the difference. As Mount Union trying to qualify for postseason, they need a win to pull even with ONU and keep their hopes alive. They could also pull into a tie with Capital if Cap is not able to come back and at least get a draw here, but Mount Union has to win, and they're down 1-0. So a tie would not be good enough for Mount Union, and Capital would clinch a playoff spot. Sherrick had it knocked away from him. Spurk has it now across midfield, just shy of midfield. Spurk gets it back. That's a tackle on Capital, I guess. Thought they were playing the advantage on, and now a foul's called going the other way. So some of the Otterbein fans upset because they played the advantage on for the first foul. It then resulted in another foul the other way, so instead of the free kick for Otterbein, Capital gets a free ball out of it. And sometimes the advantage takes away the opportunity, and, you know, they're trying to do the right thing and give you that result of the play. Puckett sends it on net, headed away, bounces out. Caruso not able to knock it down. Played back by Capital. That might go out of bounds. Awad trying to get there before Sherrick. And it has to go all the way back to Hain. And Hain sends it back upfield. And now offsides called against Capital. And a blast into the box. Cleared away by Shepard. Two subs coming on for the Cardinals. Once again, it's Dominic Antronica and Paul Hensley. Tronica and Hensley, who came in together as well in the first half. And they'll replace Kobe Stover and Gabe Sherrick. Some reinforcements up front for the Cardinals. 28 minutes to play. Still 1-0. Otterbein on the goal from Sherrick back in the first half. Cap has shown a little bit of life here in the last 10 to 15 minutes, I would say. But still not generating any shot attempts of quality. And losing in the shot department by a significant margin, 8-1 by last count of the last refresh of the stats. Kicked out of bounds into the corner, and that's going to be I think a throw-in in the deep corner here for Otterbein on the far end of the field. So Cap catches a break that this is not a goal kick, and we'll be able to kind of keep some pressure on Otterbein here in the final 26. And Cap is able to come away with possession out of it. Sent on towards the box, and McAvoy will come across and scoop it up anyway. So nothing really results from it, just some extended time in the opponent's zone. Cap gets the takeaway again. Puckett sends it out of bounds, though, on the counter. Thrown in now. Headered on. Bounces a few times. And a shove there. And some more shoving. And McComb goes down. McComb is hurt. Otterbein wants a flop called. Coach Yost is not happy. He's exchanging some words with the Otterbein bench. Taylor is also upset. The official has stopped the clock. He hasn't reached for a card or anything else. Coach Yost is not happy. McComb is down and still hurt. Players are using this as a water break. Coach Yost is staring at the Otterbein bench and shaking his head right now as McComb goes down. Caruso comes in. It's going to be a foul called. And now the ball was placed down for play, and Dominic Atronica just kicked it away as the ball was set down because he didn't like where the ball was placed. And Taylor is just imploring the ref for some kind of explanation. Caruso checks in. It's 25-18 left to play. It's getting a little bit testy down there. And we'll see what results next here. Puckett with a bomb into the box. Header one in front of the net. Loose and cleared away by Wishmeyer. And out of bounds. Caruso checks in for the injured number 27, Colin McComb, and hopefully he's okay. And just so many bodies going down for this Capital team. It's a war of attrition at this point. Some good news, Ohio Northern is now out in front 2-0. Nolan Shermer with the goal. And Mount Union would now need to come back from a 2-goal deficit in 36 minutes and tie the game, send it to overtime at the least, and then win it there. So that's a good sign. Capital needs that result to ensure their spot in the playoff, but they want to win this game here and still have a decent chance with what's in front of them. And they're playing for some fallen teammates right now with the injury situation. It's also senior day. Play for your seniors. Find a goal here. Tie this game up. And Cap is trying, but not finding anything that sequence. Hensley the other way for for Otterbein. And it dropped back to now number 20, Drew Holman. He goes out wide with it. Isaac dribbles it in. Isaac goes down. And they're going to call that a goal kick. Isaac wants a call. Wishmeyer wants an explanation. Neither are going to get either. Kind of feels like we're building up to that big moment where there's going to be a big play on either side. Kind of feel those moments coming sometimes. And it feels like we're in that stage right now. Hensley applying the pressure. Stolen by Eli. He looks to his left. Sends one in over the head of his intended target, Dominic Atronica. And Cap holds tall for another minute or so here. 23 minutes to play now. The ball's back in play. Veron Fonge will check in next for Cap. Hess back out there. They tried to feed him with one. That ball goes into the crowd. Fonge checking in now. And he replaces the previously mentioned Devin Hess. Puckett swings it to Bailey Locke. See if Locke can create something here. He sends it out of bounds. Trying to go out wide to Majawad, and he sent it too far. It goes out of bounds. Not the play that Bailey was looking for there. So now Otterbein gets their first crack at possession up the far sideline. Ball bounces to Spurk. Spurk headed it forward. Got knocked down. Now on the back line, rolled forward. Dropped back. And a couple of passes, then a steal. Now Eli has it for the Cardinals. He goes out wide to Hensley. Hensley's got some space down here. Crosses, and there's an Otterbein player in the box down. And he doesn't get the call. Eli very upset that he didn't get the call on whatever kind of contact was there. I didn't see anything, but admittedly was not looking at that part of the field. Hain with a punt downfield now, and Otterbein wins control off of it. Puckett. And plays it back to the left side here with Shepard, who's kind of playing up Taylor and Spurk in the area. Taylor kind of being the quarterback right now, and he now sends it outside to Shepard. That's a got it. Oh, they're not going to call a foul on that. Oh, man. There's a lot of contact both sides right now. I can see why you don't get that call. Is because of some no whistles on our side that we've been the benefit of as well, but that looked like a foul. It was a lot of contact. You're allowed to kind of box out position, if you will, but I don't think you're allowed to push a player out of bounds to ensure you get possession. Nonetheless, it's a throw-in. Isaac will come off for Otterbein and get a breather. He's replaced by Kobe Stover. Sherrick back in there as well for the Cardinals. We're under 20 minutes to play, starting to get into that kind of crunch time mode here. Goal kick for Capital coming next. Gotta find a way to make something happen here. Cross midfield, Wishmeyer wins the header. Now he's called for the foul for going over the top of Taylor there. That's just using height, I think. Shots are still 8-1 in favor of Otterbein. Capital trying to find one to tie it. Doesn't have to be 7 shots to tie the game. It only takes one. And it's just one quality opportunity, and you might get a foul with the way the physical game has been played. Try to just send this close to the goal and see what happens. They get a header on net, and that's a great ball by Taylor sent towards the net, but it's saved by McElvoy, excuse me. Now McElvoy will roll it to his right. That's the first save McElvoy's had to make. And it's hard, 70 minutes go by without a save. He's been involved in the game somewhat, but hard to stay focused for that long before getting that first shot, and always feels good to get that first save under here. Cap will try to continue the momentum from the shot that they just generated. Another ball sent into the box. A header. Taylor getting kind of pulled on a little bit. Oh, they called it! That's Shepard who picks up the call on the penalty kick. Oh, wow. As I mentioned, they were tugging on him a little bit, and it wasn't a lot of contact, but I think it was enough. And the way this game's been going, I think the official's sending a message. Wow. So Shepard gets the call, and all of a sudden the script is flipped. And Cap can tie this game up. It's Chase Geddes, the midfielder, the captain, wearing the sleeve after Hughes' injury. Can Chase come through on his senior night? Kick into the net! Tie ball game, baby! It's 1-1. Chase Geddes with the PK. And we've got a brand new ball game. 17:36 to play. And the senior Chase Geddes puts it home. Awesome. Absolutely awesome. Takes advantage of the call. And I said we were kind of working towards one of those moments. And there it was. Wow. What a scene here at Bernlohr. 17:36 to play. And Cap is right back in this thing. Otterbein resumes play. And kicked out of bounds. For Chase Geddes, it's his first goal of the season, and he picked a good time for it. Coach Yost went to his senior, and one senior, Matt Shepard, picks up the call. The other one sends it home. 1-1. And with that ONU result, of course, Capital seems to be safely into the playoffs with 19 minutes left in that game, and ONU up 2-0. But Cap wants this one here. They want this win, and they want a home game in the OAC tournament. They don't want to just make it. And of course, you want to beat your rival too. That's definitely on the front of your mind here. Ball comes down. And headed back to the goalkeeper, Hain. Everybody's locked in now. This is turned into quite a ball game now after that penalty kick. We've got all the momentum on the Capital sideline, and they are trying to find one more now. And another Otterbein player hits the deck, but Cap gets the possession out of it. Here's McComb. Good to see him back out there. Fangay played it back to Puckett. Puckett swings it. Plenty of room up there for a wad. Fangay plays it back. Otterbein keeping the pressure on in the far end of the field now. Ball goes all the way back to the goalkeeper now. 15 minutes left. Hain will slow things down. Hain will have to send another one up, get some help from Doherty to get it upfield. The Cardinals trying to tie this, or reclaim their lead, excuse me. They'll have a corner kick now and a big set piece situation for them. Ball crossed in. Oh, went to the far post and wide. Oh, man. That one will make you hold your breath. Spurk and Hess check back in for Funge, and I'm not sure who else checked out there. It is McComb. Okay, no one else did. I was gonna say, I didn't see anyone run off. Battle for it with the goal scorer on the other side. That's Sherrick to Hensley. Another corner kick coming for the Cardinals. Excellent push there. All right, so let's see what they can do on their free kick now. That ball's bounced. Otterbein wants a handball. I don't think there was one. Sherrick turns, shoots, and scores again on the other side. Gabe Sherrick came to play. He's got 2, and the brace puts Otterbein back in front 2-1. Heartbreaking goal there. So now we'll see if Capital can respond after the goal from Sherrick. Puts Otterbein back in control of this one. Such a tough one to give up there. Goes upfield now. Cap trying to generate some chances themselves. They have 12-16 to work with, so there's still time. But that last one obviously hurts. And now a counter the other way. One more from Otterbein certainly puts this game away. And they're trying for it, no doubt about it. And a whistle called against Otterbein. Free kick coming for Capital the other way now. Down on the turf. Knocked over to Hensley. Sends it upfield off of the foot of Doherty to keep the play alive. And a foul called. Cap gets another one. Just shy of midfield. Puckett with 11 minutes to play will have an opportunity to put one on net here. Puckett to the front of the net. Headed away. And a foul called against Capital, and Geddes is going to get a yellow. Well deserved. I think that's certainly a yellow. And a Bronx cheer from the crowd here as some of the Otterbein faithful in attendance have been waiting for one of those calls. All right, kicked up field by the Cardinals now. 10:30 to play. Cap trying to find that counter here as Otterbein is pushing forward as if they're going to continue to put the foot on the gas here and try to win this game with the goal themselves rather than playing defense for the rest of the frame here. Another foul, this time against Cap once more. And they'll have another set piece now from just shy of the corner there. Will be a set piece, pseudo type of corner kick here. Kind of a corner, not really. Just shy of that corner in the top side of your screen. So a free kick coming, and see what they do with it here. Right hand up in the air, sent on to the net, over the net. Yeah, not the best look there. And maybe going for goal, but just too much leg on it. Goes over the net and kind of harmlessly ends that threat. Hensley comes away with it. Pocket. Oh, there's certainly some contact. They call a foul against Otterbein. Oh my goodness, man. Getting very chippy down there. Both of the players kind of getting away with some contact. Yikes. All I have to say about that one. Ball goes in towards the net. Headed out of bounds by the goalkeeper. McAvoy vacates the net, comes up, makes a play on it, and gets it to safety. Boy, there was a lot of contact there between Puckett and Hensley, and could have turned into something much worse. Ball's played back out now. Sent in, McAvoy steps up and comes out of the box again comes out of the goal, I should say, and makes a stop on it. 7.5 minutes to play. Cap still looking for that equalizer. Another free ball comes through all the way to the keep on this side now. Hain stepped up to make the save. 7:15 to play. Both teams exchanging physical play at this point and potentially running on fumes both ways. It's a little bit sloppier. And maybe some of that's the footing, too, with the rain in the area. It is still kind of drizzling up there. And you see some stumbling here and there. An emotional roller coaster here on senior night. Capital was able to find the tie and a penalty kick. Several players have gone down hurt. Here's another one. And this would be fun if they met again in the OAC tournament. I'm just going to say that now. Physical game here at Bernlohr. And not the type of physical game you want to play 2 to 3 days before you're starting a tournament. Both teams should qualify. This is for pride, for seeding, and for the OR right now. Awad sends it on a line right to Geddes. Played back to Locke. Locke towards the net. Has a free runner. That's going to be a corner kick. Well, let's see what we can do with this here. In the corner with it. A strong kick into the end zone. Header towards the net. Headed away by a Cardinal. And cleared towards the sideline. Now there's a whistle, and 2 Cardinal players are hurt. Geddes should get to have a free kick here from where that ball is currently positioned. McAvoy is hurt, and this should be a big injury for not only today, for the Cardinals. Obviously an essential player to the success they've had this season. And he might have collided with his own guy, honestly, because there's no Capital player who's hurt. And I was tracking the ball that was in the air. Didn't see any collision between any players. McAvoy is still down on one knee. Probably going to have to come out of the game, no? Looks like he's going to stay in for now, I think, but Thompson is getting ready to check in, and the backup keeper, Thompson, goes back to his teammates on the bench. So they stop play for this injury. No one comes out of the game. The ball was in the air when the whistle was blown. And Geddes is basically saying this should be a free kick because this is the kind of position he had on it. And I think it might be a kind of situation where the ball's dropped and we play. That's exactly what happens, and it's headed away. Now sent forward by Cap, way over the net. Alex Moore will check in, and Otterbein will also make a sub as they put their starter, Carter Eli, back in. Hensley comes out and gets a nice ovation from the crowd as well. Under 5 minutes to play. It's 2-1, and McElwain's still, or McElvoy still in there. Sends it upfield. Excellent header to get positive field there for Otterbein, and Hain makes sure he stays in the box and scoops it away. Line drive punt across the 30. He really has a strong leg. Headed by Moore. Cap has made a change to get some height into that midfield in case they get some more set pieces here, as that's probably going to be their best shot at a goal, is getting a set piece and finding the redirect. Capital has it in the corner. Get out of bounds. It's a throw in, but not a corner kick. Now, Capital gets that corner kick. Geddes will take it with 3:35 to play. You've got all the height that you've got out there for Capital. Someone's got to make a play and send this game into overtime. Might be the best chance they get. Here we go, into the box, and McAvoy steps up and goes and gets it. He is hurting. Stumbles to the ground, and even though he's running on E, he's able to catch that one out of the air and secure some more time off the clock here for Otterbein. Now punts it upfield. The 2-goal scorer tonight, and the man of the match, no doubt, is Gabe Sherrick. And Otterbein trying to hold on to that 2-1 lead and hope that Sherrick's brace is enough tonight. Trying to secure themselves an OAC title as well. They would clinch a share of it with John Carroll. If they're able to win, they get the ore. and win this rivalry game. Otterbein, for what it's worth, in the coaches' poll, was not even predicted to finish in the top 5. And they may go on and win this conference in the regular season. They have not lost this year either. They're 12-0-4. Decent chance at an at-large bid as well. I would say a really good chance at an at-large bid. John Carroll and Wilmington are also in action, and in that game, John Carroll leads 1-0, so they would hold that same result as Otterbein. If they were to win the game, they would share the title as both teams tied against each other as well. So there's no head-to-head tiebreaker. Someone will obviously be the 1 seed, but for all intents and purposes, a tie game in the standings. Someone gets taken down with a tackle in the corner. Is that Isaac down there? No, that's Eli. Corner kick coming. It is Isaac. As Cap is trying to kick it away. It hits the official. That's a bounce ball now. And Cap has it. That ball's live. Puckett sends it upfield. Headed away. 54 seconds to play. Otterbein trying to send it down into the corner. Puckett's there. Jeez, that's a lot of contact. Wow. Again, you're able to body some, but that looked like a lot from Puckett. No foul called. There's some illegitimate gripes, I've said. Sometimes there are, sometimes there aren't. And with 12 seconds left, it looks like Cap's going to come up one short here. A rivalry game, to say the least, here in this one. Lots of physical play in this one, and both teams will be in the OAC tournament. Otterbein undefeated in the regular season, 13-0-4. So congratulations to them on a game in which they did not allow or did not have a loss this season, and they go into the OAC tournament with a chance at a pretty good spot in the NCAAs. For Capital, they need to find a way to get healthy here in a few days, because they got a heck of a run in the OAC tournament to go on if they want to be joining Otterbein, who's likely headed to the NCAA tournament. So a great game here, fun one. Unfortunately, Cap comes up one short. Geddes with the penalty kick goal on senior night. Certainly a great memory for him, but will be kind of tarnished by the loss, I'm sure. And a shout out on the other side to Gabe Sherrick. 2 goals for the Cardinals to secure a perfect season in terms of not an unbeaten season, we'll call it, on the other side for the Cardinals. We'll be here this week. We've got women's OAC tournament action. We've got men's OAC tournament action. So stay with us, and for a full schedule, check out athletics.capital.edu, where we'll have a full breakdown and schedule of when you can expect to see your Comets in action here at Bernlor. Thanks for joining us tonight, and thanks for joining us all year here for both men's and women's soccer. We hope you join us next week for the playoff action for both the Comets teams and support them as they try to make a run to the NCAA tournament. We'll catch you then. Have a great night.